for the people who live on post but ineligible to attend the school.
So that those people know that they're ineligible to go. Yes,
Right.
we have retirees and contractors that live on post, yes.
Right. And I think that's the purpose of the letters. It's not to give people an opportunity. Right.
Right, but
Yeah.
those folks are ineligible.
Right.
And in this case, Ms. Curry's daughter is eligible to go to school.
Right. But I was just trying to
Yeah.
clarify that.
So,
So my question is, can we ask the government to allow slots for Fort Knox High School students to attend the EC3 or either provide an EC3 program on post? I'm pretty sure there's a college program that's partnered with the Army here to provide those type of classes. Carpentry, mechanics, welding, they got nursing over there, they got health, cooking. I mean, they got coding for girls. They got robotics going on. That stuff, that STEM. That's what we preach all day in recruiting, STEM. That's what we're trying to get into, but I don't see why Sergeant Curry is the one that should be addressing this. I'm pretty sure I have a very vocal point in my family when it comes to education because I want to see my daughters exceed and I want to see them compete with other students. I don't want to see them come. I would love to live on Fort Knox. That was my plan because it's safe and I can go walk to work and my girls can go to school. But because of the way, whatever the politics in this is played out, now we have to live off post. And now they're going to compete with other students, which is fine, but now they have an opportunity to take other classes that the students at Fort Knox High School don't have to take. They don't get that opportunity. That's my only thing.
well, I suppose I could, say, every county differs from one county to the next. Or even within one county, different schools offer different things. Yeah, it's not mine to say where you live, and it's certainly not mine to say that you can't go there.
Sir, it's not about that. It's about providing an opportunity for the students. I'm not worried about it now. My daughters, I sacrificed to live off post. I'll pay a couple extra $100 out of my BAH or out of my paycheck so my daughters can have an education. But for the students that are coming up behind me, the parents that are coming here after next year or in the next 6 months, can we provide their students an opportunity to take these other classes and be competitive when they graduate high school? That's all I'm asking. And if it's out of your hand, can we push it up to the next level? There's always an exception to the policy, but we gotta ask for it. Just like I asked you, you told me no. So I'm pushing it up to the next person.
Yeah, and I notified our chain of command. I don't know whether they've taken it to the Pentagon or not. I'm sorry? Well, that's another option. We've gone through this transfer study before. If that's what to have the community advocate. I'm sorry, sir. I can't. Please come to the mic if you want to offer. I mean.
It was my understanding that in years past that the high school here did offer some of those kind of vocational programs. I don't believe the enrollment was much larger than it is today when they had those programs. I don't remember one of the faculty members had mentioned that those programs existed. I don't know that it was a reason that kids didn't want to do it. It was more of a funding thing probably, I'm guessing, that took some of those programs away. Auto shop they used to have here. I believe some other vocational tracks. But I think maybe we owe it to our constituency that maybe we go back and look, how were they doing it 15 years ago before it was cut out with
Correct.
Not much more enrollment? This school was never 1,000 people.
I wasn't.
And also,
I wasn't here.
we don't know what we don't know if we don't do the research. And I think just to automatically say that, I will tell you right now, I hate losing families like yours from living on post because we're failing to create a community because of running into the brick wall. And it's not only with the school, it's with other things in the community as well. But yet we sit, you drive down any street on this neighborhood on this post, there's vacant houses all over the place. So we're part of trying to create a community. The school's part of that, and we need to do our part, and we owe it So we don't have those experiences. People will put on Facebook, on all these Facebook sites, hey, don't go to Fort Knox High School because they're not willing to work with you, or whatever those they're out there. I see them all the time, and we should be concerned about that. And I am concerned about that, so I'm sorry, Sergeant Curry, that you've had to experience this coming here within 3 days or 4 days of your PCS, because that's not the kind of stress that you need. You need to have a smooth transition. You're moving on to post. This installation should be accepting you with open arms as a military member, and part of that should be the school and working with you to try to figure out a solution rather than just a blanket, no, we can't do it.
It wasn't a blanket no. So let me put that on the table. And do I take offense to some of that? I do. I mean, come on. And Mr. Curry, if I may, I talked with the superintendent. I think I said it. So it wasn't a blanket no. I met with them. I made a special trip up here on a Friday to meet with them. First. Second, I asked them, what's the logistics of a student enrolling in our school and enrolling in yours? Very difficult, they said. Why would it be difficult? Because of the transition. How do you get from here to the EC3 classes, wherever it is there? So it turned out that it wouldn't be just the EC3 classes, there would have to be other classes as well, because there wouldn't be enough time for her to do the commute. So the logistics of it would have been difficult, as well as us, doing the print.
About the drive.
The drive. And
The drive is not a problem, because my daughter's been in the program for 3 years, so she's already advanced more than the students that are over there. She's already enrolled in the school now. So they saved a slot for her when I came a month ago to visit all of the schools to make sure we were going to the right spot.
Right, so she would be enrolling there full-time.
She's already there now.
No, I understand. But she would be enrolling there as a full-time student. Right, so it had nothing to do with our school.
Yeah, it did, because she had to have a home, she still has other classes that she still had to take. So she's there half a day.
Right, but the argument is, these are our students, they're not our students. What you're presenting is, you want us to make an arrangement so that we can lose students to go to programs off the base.
You're not losing them, they're still your students, they're just enhancing their career and their opportunities by going to EC3 to take skill classes. So like if your daughter wanted to be a nurse when she graduated,
Right.
or a cook, they offer that program there.
I understand
It's
that.
another elective, that's all.
It is, but it's not here. There are other classes. If they're a student here, to get from here to there, to be in both programs, it works for Hardin County because their schools are close by.
They're not responsible.
They're not close by here. So when we talked to the superintendent, that was one of the logistical things that came up, is how do you go to school in both places?
But isn't that more his concern than your concern? Your concern should be the release of the student to attend those advanced classes, whereas this gentleman's concerned for logistics back and forth. Isn't that the concern?
Not when I had the argument that I need to do more for a student that's not going to be mine.
Well, that, to do more for a student would be to release that student to attend an advanced class.
But the student's not mine. If she can't go to our classes because she has to get to these other classes, then the student's not here.
It's just like the bachelorette program at some high schools. They allow students in the 11th to 12th grade to start taking college classes. The home school is not losing that child. They're actually benefiting from that child going to the bachelorette, the college program. This is the same thing. You're not losing a student. You're just enhancing their ability.
All right, so just 1 second, please. So I think we're starting to get to the point where we're maybe talking about a lot of issues and a lot of different regulations at the same time, and some of them are mutually exclusive. So when it comes to the policy, the regulation, and then the secondary policy about not releasing students, there is a fiscal component there that is directly under the purview of the superintendent, and there are hard restrictions for policy reasons and fiscal reasons. There's a separate issue about the nature of education for each child and the classes being offered, potentially the dual enrollment offerings, which we do have an authorization for at the high school, and then potentially the technical track courses that are offered at the high school. So there are, a couple of issues. One, obviously, changing those courses that are offered either through dual enrollment through ECTC or as pure high school courses, like we have robotics, we have computer programming, some courses like that at the high school. That's a longer term kind of effort, and I don't think there are any health services type courses available or phlebotomy or anything like that. So that's something that, I think we may want to, work with the high school and superintendent to see if we can identify those key, technical track courses, not just courses, but technical track efforts that we may want to look at, especially with under STEM. But there are time, funding, manpower constraints. But I just being a novice on this, I think that first issue over here of the policy, that's going to inform that decision to whether or not to allow a student to take a course at another high school. And that really is a policy issue that may, I don't think there would be a short-term solution, having seen this over the last couple of years. But I feel the emotions rising and there's frustration, so I just wanted to pause for a moment. I'm not trying to squelch anything. I just wanted to make sure that we're actually, talking about the issues that we intend to talk about. So I think what you're saying is, had you arrived and had those courses, even a small percentage of those courses been offered, there would not have been an issue, and you very willingly would have moved on post, been very happy, and tried to stay here as long as you could. And you have frustration that you're having to make a life decision to ensure your kids are able to continue in the type of program they had somewhere else. And, Mr. Gershon, my impression is that it's an unfortunate circumstance, but in the kind of the short term, in the middle of a school year, the policy restrictions are such that, and the requirements for funding on the other side with the county are such that it's not a tenable decision. Is that a true statement?
Mr. Curry, we told you, I could have met your daughter's graduation, and she could have graduated with her class on time.
But she wouldn't have had help.
But she wouldn't have had this thing that's offered in another place. That's the whole thing. So what you were really asking for was, let me live on post and let my daughter go to school in Hardin County. That's what the question is.
But that's not your decision, isn't it? Is it? I think that's Hardin County's decision, isn't it?
Well,
That's his decision.
well,
Hardin County will get, I already talked to Mr. Reed and everybody else there. If I got a release from Fort Knox High School, or Fort Knox, DOD, for us to go off post, then what the problem would be money issue. That would all boil down to money issue. Who's gonna pay taxes for my daughter living on post and attending the school off post? That's what it all boiled down to, money. And we're talking $6,000-7,000 a year.
well, which is again, that's not your business, it's somebody else's business. So that's one question. So, thank you, Mr. Curry. Other things for you to think about, and I'm not telling you this is going to happen, but it already does happen. I mean, kids choose not to go to school here because we don't have a competitive football team, or we don't offer other classes in our school. They don't go to our schools now. So if I give one letter to someone who wants, and his daughter is a wonderful student. She's going to be wonderful. I mean, I looked at her transcripts. I mean, she does great. What happens when a big kid moves in that could have been a great offensive lineman? Geez, they play better football in North Hardin. I need to go there. Or you don't offer algebraic modeling in the 7th grade. They offer it in Hardin County. I want the letter. You gave it to the Currys. So the question is, when do the letters stop? And that's, you have to make, as Ms. Kopp said, you had to make a family choice, a lifetime choice. And some people choose to live on post and some people live off post because that's where whatever environment better suits your needs. I can't, it's a difficult thing, but for me to say, because the letter reads, and I guess the letter could change, but the letter reads that that you're not eligible to go to school on post. So that would have to change to say, you know, we can't meet your needs of this student on post. But I can't. That's not true. I can't meet the needs as they determine them, but I can meet their graduation needs. I can give them all the courses they need to get a DoDEA diploma, which is what my charge is. I'm supposed to be able to get kids through to the graduation requirements under DoDEA. Not because somebody wants to, look, I know kids are already, families are bailing on both communities because we are small high schools and we can't do the things that they do off post. I get it. And this is an unfortunate, but besides the money, there is that other aspect. You open the door to that, you're going to change the viability of our schools on this post. It's going to change it.
I see your point about that, but didn't that change when they went to privatized housing and brought lots of civilian folks in? Was that dynamic change at that particular point?
To some
Or was that not figured into the equation for the school district here in Fort Knox?
You know, when they went to privatized housing, which was,
And more allowing civilians to move into those.
yeah, you know, I don't know what the percentage of civilians are in there and what they are. A lot of civilians, like we have teachers who live on post, so they're allowed to go to our schools because they're DOD civilians.
I get it, but there's certain civilians that take up housing that other soldiers could be using, which would bolster those numbers, which might allow us to do more for our students.
Yeah, I think the issue with the housing is that it was opened up to others because we went into the waterfall because people were choosing not to. It wasn't open too terribly long ago. No. But they had to open up because it wasn't a viable option anymore, and they didn't know the thing. So I don't know that anybody's being turned away either from housing right now. There could be some 3 and 4 bedroom houses that are turned away. So it definitely was not calculated into any of this decision, the housing business, because nobody anticipated I guess nobody anticipated that it would be so reasonable to buy houses off post. I mean, this is nothing compared to what I faced down at Campbell. We're in free fall. We've lost, 700 students since last January the 16th because it's better to go off post than live. I mean, I was happy to see the mortgage rates go up 0.25% yesterday. You're laughing, but it's keeping some of our folks working. It's keeping me working. I mean, that's terrible to say.
So on the flip side of this, I have a friend who's a teacher at McDonald, and she would love, they moved off post because of retirement, but she would love to have her kids to continue to go to post schools, but that's not allowed.
That's right.
So why isn't that allowed? Because we would gain students. And if you're teaching at a school and you want to bring your kid to the school, and she has a friend that's teaching at Campbell who's living off, but their kid is going to school on Campbell. And so I told her she needed to get the actual name of those, but she's like, well, I want to bust her if she's doing it illegal, if somehow they accidentally allowed that. But she does want her kids to go. So, in Colorado, there's a thing called choice, and everybody can apply for it, and it depends on for any school in the state, and it's your responsibility to get that student there. Just like if he wanted to have his daughter taking classes here, then I understand what he was saying, that look, I'll get her there where she needs to be for the other portion. And that's what they do in the states where there's the choice. But
Yeah, and so the fear is if we allow choice, open choice, where will that leave us? As the school said, hold on, I have to answer all the questions. So where would that leave us, first of all? Secondly, if you start the school year, you're allowed to stay in our schools the whole year. So I don't know when this person down at Campbell started. And as a DOD civilian, she is permitted to live on post, which would mean she would be allowed to send her kids to school. So again, she's somebody who's made a lifetime choice, a life choice by moving off post. United States Code Law 10, and there's some subsections after that, that's who determines why they determine you have to live on post to go to school. So that's something I don't ever see changing. That's been in place for 60 years.
Live on post that go off post to schools, and I know that's true because I pick up some of the high schoolers for lacrosse practice. Are they paying how does that work?
Don't know if
Are they eligible to go to school? I mean,
They are not
to,
eligible to go to school here.
there you go.
So they are going to John Hardin.
Right.
Right. So
They shouldn't be going to John Hardin, first of all, because it's north.
They're going to one of those schools. I don't know.
It's John Hardin. They're straight civilians living on post because they're authorized now, and they cannot go to Fort Knox schools. So they have to go to off-post schools.
And presumably.
And the
they're not
question
part
is,
of
are they paying the $7,000 of taxes?
It should be North Hardin.
Yeah.
Maybe it is North Hardin, I'm not sure, but I just know I picked them up for something totally different, but they live on post, but they don't go to school here because they're not allowed.
Right.
They're contractors, correct? So they're not
No,
eligible?
no, no, they're just straight civilians.
Straight, okay, that's a straight civilian. That's ineligible. They're not eligible.
Yeah, but I think we're talking about congruency of logic here,
Sure.
that presumably they're not paying into the tax base
Right.
of the school that they're going to, and so our first class Curry
Different.
would have been, kind of in the same situation. So I think that's the crux of the,
And I don't
Statement.
set the taxes. All I tell them is whether you're eligible or you're ineligible.
I'm just trying to see how that works because we have that occurring here. So I don't, and I know that mom is not paying anything extra at all.
I don't, and as I said, I don't know why Hardin County doesn't charge. I don't know why they don't charge. They charge in Clark.